everybody, it's Amanda from scrimpingmermaid.co.uk, and today I'm coming to do a really fun Christmassy project for you, great for craft fairs. It's not a new idea, you know, it's been around for donkey's years. But I wanted to make one today for my little girl. I'm making quite a lot of homemade things this year because she just loves them. So I thought, well, while I'm making it, I may as well come on and craft along with you. So I'm making some reindeer food. So I've got a cup here of oatmeal. It's quite fine. You can use anything, you know. Go and have a look in your cupboards what you've got. Ready break, oats. You know, even if you don't have that, just get some flour and or just make it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of Stampin' Up silver glitter. It's not one that I've used a lot. In fact, as you can see, the lids, I've not used it at all. I'm not a massive fan of glitter because it makes a big mess, but it's pretty, so I can be generous with this because I don't use, and you get loads, and it's super fine as well. So, but yeah, it's the I hate it when it makes a big mess. It is very, very pretty though, so it is worth it. So we'll have our mental breakdowns later, it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to get a little random tool from my tool tub, and I'm just going to give that a bit of a mix. And this is going to be our reindeer food. Now I'm going to leave the poem that I use, or the little, you know, the little saying. I will type it on my blog, along with the post and all the measurements for this. There are loads if you look on Pinterest. You can even print out ready printed toppers, but you know, they're not as nice than if you do it yourself. Okay, so that's just about it. It's a nice, I think we could put some more in there, but you know, don't want to waste, don't want to be wasteful. And the poem that I'm using, I just printed it on my PC, says, sprinkle on the lawn at night, the moon will make it sparkle bright. As Santa's reindeers fly and roam, this will guide them to your home. So if you've not seen reindeer food before, basically you give it to your kids, they throw it on your garden and it's there till March. But it's fun! So I've got a clear cello bag here that I've just bought locally. We do all sorts of cello bags at Stampin' Up, but I'm using one I've got. And this measures, it's 5.5 by about 8 when it's sealed, so it's quite a large one. It's for a large card. I'll probably fold it over so it's only about half done. So the first thing, I'm just going to move that a minute or else I'll knock it over. The first thing we need to make is a topper. So I've just cut a piece of real red cardstock here. I've pre-done it to save time, and this measures just slightly larger than my cello bag, so it's 5 3/4, and then I've cut it at 2.5 wide, and then I've scored it. I believe I scored it at, what did I score it at? 1 3/4. So I've scored it at 1 3/4. So that will attach to the back of the cello bag, and this is going to be the front. But we're not going to just leave it like that. I've cut some layers. And I've cut a piece of DSP, Christmas DSP. It's come from the, which one is it? The quilt one. I've forgotten its name. It'll be on my blog. Something quilt. Quilted Christmas, I think it is. It went then. So I'm gonna, you know, I want to use up this DSP. I don't want it hanging about after Christmas. Or else I'll feel that I have to use it next year, and I want new. So I'm going to get it used up. So I'm going to make loads of handmade things this year and have some fun. So I'm just putting that on there, and I've just cut it slightly shorter than my label there. So this measures 1.5 inches by 1.5 by 5.5. But, you know, I'll put the measurements on my blog. And then this is 1/4 inch smaller again, and that's going to layer on there. But we're going to do some stamping as well. So we're going to use one of my favourites at the moment, Hearts Come Home. And I'm using the Flying Santa. I think it's awesome. So I'm just going to use basic black, because I do like the idea of it being like a silhouette on the night sky. I've just got to decide where I want it. I think I want it there because I want to have room for my sentiment. So I'm just going to work it out. I want my sentiment to be, well, I don't suppose it matters if it goes off. I'll have it like that. Right, so I'm going to, so I've mounted my Father Christmas and the reindeer, and also this small stamp, which is like, you know, like magic dust is coming out of the back of the sleigh. I'm just going to practice stamp because I've got 2 stamps on there. I'm just going to make sure that it's lined up how I want it. Yeah, that's fine. So now I can stamp that on my topper layer. And I want it at an angle, you know, like it's going upwards into the night sky. There we go, like so. I think that's lovely. I think it's a lovely stamp. I can put this away now. And now I'm going to mount my sentiment, which I've just printed on printer paper. You could, you know, if you want, print it on cardstock. I'm a bit mean with my cardstock, so I'm doing printer paper. Need some real red cardstock. I'm gonna do it right down in the corner so that can you see? I mean, sure. Right down in the corner so I don't waste my card. Try to get that straight. There we go. And then I'm going to chop it out. Where's my scissors gone? There we are. Just trim it by hand. And we've got it started off with a straight edge, so it shouldn't be difficult to follow along, even for me, who, you know, I am the most wonkiest cutter ever. Right, so now we're going to mount these up on our topper. Oh, that's not worked very good. I think it's ready. Sometimes when they're ready for running out, these tapes, they go a bit funny. I think it's ready for changing. So I'm going to lie that flat and I'm going to try and get that on straight. I want it to look nice. Like so. Now, one further step you can do before you add your topper to your cello bag, if you want, you could, you know, tie a loop on some thread and have it like so. Just another idea if you're doing craft fairs. You could loop it like so, have the knot underneath, then when you add it to your cello bag it's got like a hanging thing. That's another idea. I'm not doing that today, but it's an idea. Right, so I'm going to now attach this to my cello bag. I'm using tear tape, it should be strong enough. Okay. And I'm going to attach it to the top of the cello bag and not the bottom where, you know, where you pull the tape off. And then when they come to open it, it's not totally destroying the whole look of the package. I know what I mean, I'll show you in a minute. Okay. These are always good sellers on your craft stalls. Every craft fair I've ever been to at Christmas, I have seen these. Every single one. Okay, so I'm going to now attach. I'm having the opening to the back, so it will go to the back and seal like that. So this is the front. So I'm just going to hold down my topper. Try and line this bag up so it's nice and straight and neat, and then I can fold that over. Okay, and then I can add this, which I may well just put that on some dimensionals just to make it a bit stand out, stand proud ever so slightly. So let me get some dimensionals. Ooh. I think 2 will be enough. I might put 3 on. I might be generous and put 3 on. You don't have to put it on dimensionals. If you're doing a craft fair and you're saving money, just stick it straight on. Use glue or tear tape. Okay, so I'm just going to see where I want that now. About there's fine for me. Like that. Okay. One other thing I think I may well just add. I've got some of these felt shapes. Now, I want to use them because they're lovely. So let's see if we can get away with adding some of these on. Why not? I want it to look really nice. Can I get away with 2? Or is that gonna... No, I'll just have the 1. Because I think 2 would hide the sentiment. You know, the poem. We don't want that, do we? So I'm just using a dimensional. Get off and stick that there. That should stay on nicely. There we go. Right, so now I'm going to add my reindeer food, and then I'm going to add another element to it. If I don't get this everywhere. Ooh, plenty on. You know, you don't need to be mean with oats. They're not expensive, are they? Okay. So I'm going to roll that. Let's have a look. How shall I fasten it? About there, I think. Fasten it about there. So, let's pull off that tape. Fasten that to there. Just let the air out. Push the air out, then fasten it. Now what I might do, just to be doubly safe, I might add some sellotape. Let's have a look. I've only got fat sellotape. I've only got really fat sellotape on my desk. So you might want to, you know, find some that's a little bit more elegant. But I probably wouldn't rely on that cello bag staying sealed. So I would add sellotape, because that's going to be a disaster if I pick it up now and it all falls out, isn't it? There we go. How cool is that? Look at them all set out on your craft stall. That's going to look amazing. We're going to make it look even more amazing by adding an actual reindeer. So I've got some scrap card here, and this reindeer is from the Santa sleigh set. It's beautiful. There's a lovely sleigh there. You could stamp that as well. There is a die set to go with it, but I don't have it. I only ever bought the stamps. I'm using chocolate chip because I'm pretty confident that reindeers are brown. I did ask, and somebody said, yes, Amanda, they're brown. Well, you know, we don't have them in Yorkshire. So, there you go. So I'm going to stamp him there. And I'm saying him because it's Rudolph. And Rudolph's a boy. There we go. How doesn't that look majestic? Quite impressed with that. So, let's give that a waft. I was going to colour it, but I think I might just leave it. I don't know. I can't decide whether to colour him or not. Let's see what he looks like when he's mounted. So I'm going to, I think I might use my paper trimmer actually, to make sure I get that edge straight. So I'm just bringing my trimmer in. I think this edge is straight here-ish. So let's have a look. I reckon if we cut it at 2 inches, yeah, that will be alright. Yeah, he's fine at 2 inches. Okay, so let's trim the top so it's nice and neat. Okay, and then we'll trim him. I might do him, if he's 2 inches, he'll fit in my banner punch. So let's cut it to 4. 4 1/4 to be on the safe side. No, yeah, 4. Cut it to 4, it will go in my banner punch. Let's have a look. I can make a banner out of him. That'll be cute, won't it? Can you tell that I'm making this up as I go along? There we go, doesn't he look smart? Right, let's get him mounted on some let's get him mounted on some of this so that it all matches. That will look cool, won't it? Let's do that. Oh, come on. Being naughty is this tape runner. It's probably me doing it too fast. There we go. Okay, so We line that up on there like so. And then we can trim him out. You can do this by hand because it's all in squares. So even I can follow it. Okay. Cut along. Cut along there. And we go up to the centre. And then we'll go along from here to the centre. And from here to the centre. There we go. And I think we'll just add him there. I might just colour him in, I don't know. I think I'll just give him a bit of colour with my crumb cake marker. Just a tiny bit. You could take a lot more time colouring him, making him look really awesome. There we go. You could stamp him and emboss him in silver. That would look really cool. There we go. Just quickly. And then I think I will just attach him like so. I think that looks really cool. Or shall I put it in the middle? Well, put it in the middle. That looks good. Can you tell I haven't got a sample? But I like to craft when I'm filming, no different than I do normally at home. Which is, you know, you don't always know what you're doing till you've done it. Okay, and just for a bit of fancy, and because I've got lots of them, and I do like them, I'm just going to add a little binder clip there. I like that. Let me just move it down because I don't want it to infringe on that sentiment. And there we go, we've got some really smart looking reindeer food. You know, it doesn't take long. Go and have some fun. My little girl's going to love this. Thanks for watching. Bye.